How you doing? Patrick from Art Storefronts here, and today we are talking about session recordings and specifically through a web app called Inspectlet. So in the post, I'm talking about this case study that we've been running and the fact that we've installed Inspectlet on the site to get a better idea of what's happening. So I've got a couple of screen captures here that are pulled up that we can go through so you can get an idea of what Inspectlet looks like. And I wanted to start with a mobile one because I think this is really cool and it's a perfect example of what happens when you measure, right? The Drucker quote. And you even just take a look. So on this particular site, you see somebody's on a mobile phone and it's an Android operating system. The screen size is 360 by 592, which is really tiny, by the way. It's even less than I think than an iPhone, which is like 600 on the width. But you can see that they're going through a website. They're going through various different aspects of it. They're reading the text. They're looking at the pictures. And so there's insights that you can glean from doing this. And so we'll just kind of watch as this goes along, and I'll just kind of continue narrating. So they're on to the next page, which is the upload page. And, immediately, while just kind of continue watch this go, and they're uploading an image, immediately I catch that there's an issue with their menu. So that's one thing to fix. I'll go back to that in a second. Checking out the testimonial. That's actually the subject of the case study. But what's really interesting about this one already is you see this is on a mobile phone, and they are uploading an image from their mobile phone. And because I've already seen this, I know that they're going to go to the next page in which they're actually working on cropping it and taking a look and everything else. But you can see as the session goes on right now that they've uploaded the image. Why aren't they moving to the next page? There seems to be some hesitation there. So I might glean that this continue to next step is not completely clear. In this case, look, they just deleted the image. Maybe it really wasn't clear. And now they're uploading again. So you can't take any one session to be gospel, but when you look at 20 or 30 of them, you really start to see the patterns and they start popping. And so I think in that case, you can say, okay, obviously something's unclear here. I need to fix things up. So you can see here they are going on to the choose a sides page. And I want to keep this video short, so I'm not going to keep going and diving further into it. But pretty cool, right? They're actually going through the order process, uploading a photo, and now getting into choosing a size all on their mobile phone. We talk ad nauseum about how mobile traffic's growing and how it's so important and everything else. And all of us, I think, myself at least, is just go, yeah, okay, yeah, right. But look in that case. I mean, they're physically uploading from their phone, getting to the choose a side, and being that I've actually watched this entire one, they get all the way to the very end and almost pull the trigger. So whether or not they come back, I don't know, subject for another day, but I think it's interesting data nonetheless. Here's an example of obviously a desktop screen. So again, you can see they're going through everything in this case. They're reading all of the messaging on our homepage. Boom, they're zipping over to the pricing page. That seems to be important, and they're going to figure out what they want here. So does your site have a pricing page? Maybe it should. Something else that we're going to talk about in a future version. But that is Inspectlet. I don't want to dive too deep into this because I want to keep it short and sweet. But there'll be more follow-up on this in a future case study. But I highly recommend installing Inspectlet on your site. It'll give you a number of incredible sessions. It gives you incredible data about what device they're on, what browser they're on, what the screen resolution is, how many pages they went. You can tie it to your conversions. So this has been a Quick Tip Friday on Inspectlet. Thanks for watching.